All right, so that is Deadly Blood right there. It was supposed to come out sometime last year, but unfortunately it's not out yet due to some circumstances. I got the chance to see the movie. So in the movie they were depicting something which was happening in the country right here in Zambia. So the government they got hold of the movie, saying there are a few things that which we want to analyze, and then if we say it's a pure content for it to be released, then we will let you guys to release this particular movie. So talking about Joy Productions, these guys are really putting in quite a lot as far as producing Zambian movies is concerned, and right now they are in Kabwe training a few actors and actresses, and also training movie directors, so that we can have as many as possible in this industry. And then not forgetting, they've got a brand new production which they are shooting. So it's a whole team, a huge team, where some other people are training people in Kabwe, and then the other team is right now, as I am speaking, it's in Nigeria, shooting some movie which Patience Ozoko is a main actor, or a main actress rather, and she is one of the people. So the other scenes will be done from right here in Zambia when they are done that side. So we have to be on the lookout for that one, as it will come out on the 2nd of November. That's when the premiere of that particular movie will happen, where Patience Ozoko is happening. So there is good news. Just a few weeks ago we were talking about Jim Ike making a debut in a Zambian movie which was dubbed Pio, and CQ Mzukulu was the main actor in that particular movie. So it's good to see that Nollywood, and I don't know what they call Zambian movies, if it's Zwood or Zollywood, but at least Nollywood getting to collaborate with Zambian actors, producers, making sure that our movie industry
on the sad note though, I don't know if you checked out Jim Ike's post on Instagram. Is it Instagram? Twitter, where he said look into it back so that movie should be re-edited.
Oh yeah.
Because of the sound, the cut thing was being listened in the movie. I feel as much as we want to get there though, but truth be told, I feel like there's something that we always need to work on as much as perfection. I just had editing right here say that she takes some time to get to edit her photos. I think that's where we're supposed to be at, than just making sure that people just see that we can do it. But let's make sure that we work on perfection. Yeah, definitely. It's not only actually Jim that complained, but so many people that attended the premiere of Pio, they really complained of the unprofessionalism which was shown in the movie, because you would hear directors right in the movie, you would hear directors saying cut, cue. Who does that? It's more like you are watching behind the scenes when it's actually the whole movie. So it's really sad, it's really bad. Hoping that producers, they get to learn their lessons from that, and then we get to grow together. You know, criticism is always right and always good, as it builds us if you take it correctly, but if you take it wrongly, it destroys. All right, so right about now we are having King Vince on set, as we get to hear which stories is he picking this week. Maybe we never took some time to get to check out other stories though. How you doing?
I think this week we're talking about the most trending.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually covering.
We know. In fact, me, I know.
I'm recovering from the long weekend, which actually
and don't put in
it, so I'm recovering.
Don't put in the fake sickness which you had.
No,
don't put it in. It was fake.
What?
The fake sickness you had, that was fake. Don't bring it in.
No. It was real. It was real.
It was fake.
But anyway, before I get to the main story, I think I'll touch a bit on the issue of the movie that you just brought out about the issue of Pio. I think in Zambia, last time I had an interview with JC in the same studios and this same show, he had brought out a lot the issue of working together. And if you think you can work alone without advice, then you're not headed anywhere. Okay, and I think one of the clips or one of the scenes for Pio was shot. I was even there seeing it being shot. I think the editing was done in a rush for the movie. As I've said, I think let us take time, even though it is the most talked about thing at the moment, but let's take time to put things together so to give people the best. Because Pio was one of the most talked about movies at the moment, and we all know that everybody was anticipating it.
Even Dr. Nevas Mumba was there at the premiere.
Yeah, I'll give you an example, just like The Lawyer. You understand? When The Lawyer came out, there was a lot of people that were and some of them are still anticipating to see it right now. Okay. Then also talking about the issue of these two artists that don't want to come to an agreement. You know, you know one thing, huh? In life is like this: you can compete, but at a certain point you have to reach an agreement. If you see the friend that want to back down, it's better you drop it. Okay. You know, I'm going to say this because at least Nico J is the one, the original.
Nico J,
You may have the same names, and if you see the other person doesn't want to drop his ego, don't also try to pull your ego up. Drop it down. Maybe just change it somewhere. You know, we can all have names that are similar. You understand? So the best is either you say Nico Yo or Nico something. Just trying to to balance up with the name. You know,
Nico Yo.
That happens. Come on. Nico Nif. Just for the sake of balancing up, because you know one thing about uprising artists in Zambia, they have got an ego which they don't want to drop. And them, they feel like being pompous is one way we're going to make it outside there, without realizing exactly what is coming behind them. You know, people like Slap decided from somewhere fighting for their names. People like Mark decided from somewhere. I remember people mocking Mark 2 to a car called Mark 2. You get that, right? But he came somewhere. Okay, we see Bobby East came just like that, and we have seen a lot of people trying to balance themselves to the name Bobby East, Bobby what, there are a lot of names. Okay, Slapped what, Slay what, you get that. So if an uprising artist sometimes sit down, it's not always about having these AKA names, which sounds to be very similar to some of those already established artists. It's not always even about relating to your name. Okay, because I don't think Slap D, his name is related to his real name. You get that? But he's there. You understand? That's something different. Okay, so at least let us try not always having AKA names related to our names. So coming on to the issue, the famous 1 million, the alleged 1 million. We had a chat with Bobby East. You know what he called that one? He called it lazy journalism. You get that? The question that everybody has been asking on social media: who did the counting, and where did it come from? How was the statistics to say that 1 million condoms were used at the Day of Thunder? According to statistics, people that attended the Day of Thunder, they're supposed to be 11,000. Okay, and when you look at the population for livings, it's supposed to be 185,000. Okay, inclusive with the young ones that are still growing. You understand? Then maybe Livingstone receives close to about 10,000. Tourists, if I haven't made a mistake. Okay, so if you calculate that statistics, no matter how much you try to bring it up, it does not add up to 1 million. Okay, yes. Okay, can someone give us evidence to say they said counting and they piled it up? Then we know that it's 1 million. And using statistics of where it was sold, because lodges can buy. You know how lodges, they buy in bulk. Then when a client comes, they put in the room. You get that, right? They put in a room. Or when you go to a lodge or a hotel, you find their condoms in a room. So what about if those statistics that are calculating were also married to some of those, that were bought by hotels to put in those rooms? Okay. Because in one way or the other, the headline for the story, it doesn't only dent the people that went to the Day of Thunder. It also dents the organizers and also the brand which was being promoted. Okay, it's more like there was that aspect of immorality which was coming in. You understand? When some people just went there to have fun, maybe that some of them didn't even do it. You get that, right? Then we are all caught in the 1 million aspect. But who counted it? Can someone provide evidence?
Like you are putting it, Vincent, I think that's where the statistics are coming from. Lodges get to buy packs of condoms and whatever. So maybe it so happens that on that very day or on these very days when the thunder was happening, maybe lodges bought quite a lot of those packs, plus obviously people that traveled. That's just an assumption. Okay, so maybe the statistics is coming from there. Okay, they were the debate is they counted the number of those things which were bought. That's where the 1 million is.
And by the way, what about
the population which was in Livingston is 1 million.
I think statistic-wise, even when the World Health Organization was to take survey, you don't count at what has been sold. You also count what is still available in stock. You get
did you read the story though?
I didn't even take time. I just got to the headline.
You just saw the
headline.
Just the headline.
You know, it's into your ear. The headline. Once you just read the headline, it puts you off. Seriously, you don't have any.
You are the same people who comment the stuff. You know sometimes. Okay, let me say something. You know, I've done a survey and I've had some time to get to talk to people who write newspapers. You know how catchy they can make a headline with a different story inside. Sometimes that's how. Too much.
No, let me tell you this. You know, not everybody have access to buy a newspaper. You have access to read a newspaper headline when you pass on the street. You get that? And if you just make a misleading statement, everybody, even those are reading a story, even they read the story from A to Z, they're going to get that headline. So and it will be a talk of the town.
Those are wrong people.
That's why now
of us Zambians, 75% of us Zambians don't take time to see the content which is inside. That's why most of the times, especially in the entertainment industry, as the youths, we stand out to be misinformed.
Okay? That's the reason why now you should come in and give obviously what was in the story, because maybe 9 and Napita 1 million condoms used in Livingston. I didn't read the story. So this is where you.
That's your homework.
That's where you come in. That's where you come get to break down the story, not also just talk by headline. Because you're just looking on the headline and the argument which is on social media.
Even because what we just want to try to clear up right about now is what people have that especially is being talked about on social media. Get that right? Even though we can go into details talking about the story inside, if in your head you already told yourself, okay, there's 1 million which is being talked about is 1 million. No, people are not debating about the content inside. I think that is one thing that we are looking at here. I'm not looking at, I can talk about the content which is inside, but the aspect that people are debating about the 1 million. You get that? That's what I think it's
actually concentrate on
I think the main key is that this is just a wake-up call to editors or trying to woo people to read your newspaper. Let's also try to balance up what is written there and what the content is about. Okay, I have seen the other day, sorry to bring this, I had an argument with Lawino. You get that? The CEO of Black Billionaire. Okay, what happened was that there is this online gossip line. You get an online gossip page which went on and labeled Brisky, okay, as he would sleep with any man for money. You get that? That actually, the story came from where? It came from the song which actually Brisky has done. It's not yet released. Has done with the 408 Empire. You get that? And those were some of his lyrics in the song. Okay, they didn't even get to marry the song to the story. They just got whatever that they hit and they just brought it out. You get that?
This is exactly what you are agreeing with the people that just read the headline but never got the content.
Okay. Wrapping up, you're behind time. Few highlights. Okay, I think we can stick to one story.
Yes,
we need to move on. We need to move on. On that story, we don't have information.
This one, it really brings in a lot to talk about, because many people, they just saw the headline, they never read the content.
So for this one, we're giving you 7 days. Next week, come back.
For this one, I think that my argument aspect won't come to the content which is inside. My argument
comes to the headline.
Because if you get my point, was to say people on social media are not actually arguing about the content,
because they never read the content.
Because even some of these online media houses, the biggest thing they shared and second was the what? Was the headline. That's why our core is to say, if you're informing people about an event, you cannot just go, for example, the way you said it. People complained about Temi Alade's performance, and you remember sometime there was also a complaint about this guy's Tufan about. Then another newspaper just came in and said, no, it was a flop when she went to attack. When instantly, that wasn't the one, the story.
I tell you about Yemi Alade, she was given a local name, Mutinta. So I don't know, Yemi Alade was given a local name. She's now called Mutinta in Zambia.
You know, even
Mr. Easy is in Jovu.
Yeah,
so now Yemi Alade
I didn't even get Dibanja's name.
But anyways, let's wind up.
So maybe to wind up, we people in the entertainment industry that are informing people about the entertainment industry, let's try by all means to be factual and realistical. You get that? Let's get issues and let's also marry the stories with what we're giving the people. The reason no, he said we is part of the we. So you get that? So what we tell people outside there, because if I was just going to say Chite is like this, people get it like that. Yeah. You understand that? But let us also marry the story. That's why we have got so confusion in the entertainment industry. We try to progress, but as you're trying to progress, instantly something pulls us back. As if you get that. So if people are as much as we try to be controversial, to put ourselves on the map, let us be controversial in a way where people are going to get something. You understand? Yes.
All right, so
pretty much on that as well.
This is what it's all about. But I tend to disagree with Vincent.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Yes. No. We're not entering into a debate.
Okay.
But I tend to register my disagreement with you. It's not all about a wrong headline rather, or screaming headline. But you know, the headline should not only scream into your head, say that's what happened, but it should call you. Okay, the headline should call you to say, let me read so that I find out more. What is this 1 million condoms used? What it really is in the story? And like you are paid at a paper and then you base your assumptions, your whatever people are talking about on social media. All right, so this is something that's supposed to be. We see a headline, as much as catchy as it can be, let's also get to read the content, okay, so that we really know what that headline or where that headline comes from, because a headline comes from what is in the story. So if you don't read the story while you get a headline and then pay up or yayamba debate per social media, then we'll always be getting misinformed, okay, because we'll be this is what it is. So let's always make sure that we get to read up these things, not only kufuno perera chepa mwamba che. That's my disagreement with Vincent. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, one thing that I know is that these people write stories. They want to sell. So if they don't write a catchy headline, meaning the newspaper won't sell.
Definitely.
So I don't know. But for that, we leave it up to next week, King Viz. It was
do your homework.
do your homework.
That's all. We're not going to argue.
You have put me on the cross.
No.
You don't have to defend yourself.
You are not defending yourself.
I'm not defending myself. You're trying to put me on an edge where you're sitting on something which is hot. You get that, right? That's what I'm trying to do. So I don't think that.
Let's check out messages right here. Gaza came through, says enjoying the show. Going out to you guys as well. And Mr. New School as again as well came through via the text message saying enjoying the show. I love how you're doing the entertainment. And AD Siwusiso Kawaza as well. He came through via the text message saying good.
All right, so we've got quite a number of messages that are coming in, people commenting about the two Nico J's, and also the people talking about the condoms thingy. Then this other one obviously says he's desperate. He wants to watch the Wombathie video. Yeah, so this is James in Kapiri. He's watching from Kapiri Mposhi. And then this other one says, nothing much to say, but the show is really interesting and majestic. I didn't know that on Prime you have such fantastic shows. Really interesting, but I like gospel. All right, good to know that you're watching. And then Kelevino is also watching, and Ndalama is also watching. A great shout outs and lookouts to everybody that's watching right about now. And right okay, so many comments coming in, but unfortunately we have to wrap up.
Yeah, we have to go.
I think we need to make a promise to the people. We'll be reading at least a few messages before we go to analysis, because Vincent with his analysis so ngaberenga my messages.
What have I done? I haven't done anything.
7 days.
I just have to get I just have to
7
get
days.
7 days.
Suspension. You'll be back after 7 days.
Yeah, Kai, when you come back on Friday, 7 days
Yeah,
ya kwanza. So suspended 7 days.
We have to go.
Alright, so
Please, can our website write a headline? This is suspended. 7 days. But inside the story is saying.
and then in my brackets put Oafitala.
Alright, so we have to go. Make sure that you get to like our Facebook page, The Lounge, and also we're streaming live on Prime Television Zambia as well. And check out how our streaming live. Just in case you missed out the first part, you can still get to watch it as we are still not on TV. Just to get to watch it as well. Going out to that person celebrating their birthday, super excited about the cake giving away.
Next month it kicks start.
Yeah, so look out for that.
Next week in next month.
Yeah, so we're starting in next week. So who's celebrating their birthday?
Who's celebrating their birthday on
We give you
Friday
a
next
cake.
week? Come through on the numbers there. No, we said Facebook. Yeah. So come through via our Facebook page. You are celebrating your birthday on Friday. Come through in our inbox. Send us your details and send us what else? We said pictures.
Yeah,
so
pictures.
that we can put them up for nomination for voting. Whoever that gets the most votes is the one that wins the cake for that particular Friday. So that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, we have to say our bye-byes.
Yeah, so crash out and look at everybody that woke up early in the morning just to get to tune into TV and get to watch this particular show. And also not forgetting our producers, talking about Brian Mumba, Moses Nyambe,
Francis
Aaron
Salvador.
D. Black, Malachi, yeah, Francis, who else? Alan, yeah, Alan, our cameraman, and yeah, everybody plus the guests that came through.
Yeah, truly appreciate as well. So from me, PMC, King Vince, Professor Lance, so where we have to call it a day right here as well.
Yeah, we out. Suspended.
Thank you.